What is up, guys? Mastic over here. Today I'm going to show you how to change the alternator on this 3.5 V6 Oldsmobile. It's a 2001 Oldsmobile Intrigue. So let's get straight to it. First, what we want to do is remove this ball right here, and it's a 13 millimeter. So I want to go ahead and grab a 13, and we want to go ahead and take those out. Looks like somebody attempted this before. Just make sure put those on the side. Out of the way. I want to use my head mount, but it's going to cause me a little bit of trouble. Put this right here. So the next thing we want to do is grab I think this is an 8 millimeter, and disconnect those terminals right here, negative and positive, and we're going to go ahead and take the battery out. There's a holder, or there's a battery bracket right here. It's a 13 millimeter. Once you take that out, the battery will be free to move. You can just take this out the way. So I went ahead and made it a little bit easier for y'all to see. Took it out of 0.5. So this is the terminals. Actually, you always want to remove the negative one first, because if you remove the positive first, the negative's still connected. If it makes contact with any ground, it's going to spark. So you remove the ground first, tuck it out the way, take out the positive. Cool, tuck it out. And I got me an extension right here. Go ahead and cool, that's out. And take this. He's a pro tip. So whenever you want to take something out with its own and it has bolts, what you want to do is just put the bolts exactly where they were, so that way you're not just looking for bolts when you're done. Okay, go back to the battery and just yank this battery out. See if I can use one hand. Yeah, I think I have to move it, wiggle it a little bit, and take it out. Okay, so after I went ahead and took out the battery, I just need 2 hands. There's a tray right here with 4 10 millimeters holding it. It's right there. So the next thing that I want to do is take out this engine. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know why it's here. I don't know why it's not on the bottom. Anyways, I got to take this out and then yank the fans off. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and take out this housing right here. And then I'll have a better access to the alternator. Okay, so here's an update. I am so sorry for not updating too much. However, so take out the battery, as you guys saw. So I didn't tackle those yet. I had to remove the fan. Why? Because there's no space to pull out the freaking alternator without taking out the fan. What do you got to do to remove the fan? The engine bracket that was here, you have to remove these 13 bolts to hold it from the bottom, and these 2 13 bolts to hold it from the top. And you have 1 bolt and a nut, and 1 bolt and a nut that I lost. I'm gonna find anyways. So you have to take these 2. There's 2 clips, 1 here, 1 there. Take this out. What do you have to do to wiggle this? I've never seen this before, but the ECU is literally in the intake box right here. So this is the bottom piece where the ECU sits, and this is the top piece that clips on it, and this is the intake. In order to remove the intake, you have to unbolt it from the clamp from here and the clamp that's over there, and you gotta unclip these 2 sensors right here. I think it's a MAF and a MAP. I don't know why there's 2 sensors. The map's supposed to be over there. However, after you do this, there are 2 brackets that look just like this right here. 1 here and 1 over here. You gotta take those out, and then, well, you can easily yank the fan. Well, not even still easily. I don't know why this crap, like, I don't know why it's here. I don't know who the hell puts a freaking ECU in the right next to the airbox, but I guess that's the coldest place for it. However, so now that we're here, next step is I gotta remove this 1, 2, 3, and then the whole housing assembly with these, I think, couple bolts. 1, 2. I don't know if there's a 3rd one under here, but we'll see. Okay, so I went ahead and I took out this, connected to this one, and this one. Sadly, the freaking tensioner is literally all the way there. This is the tensioner right here. This stupid arm. I don't know if it's a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch. It's a drive. Looks like a 1/2 inch from here. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my 1/2 inch ratchet and try to see if I can take out the tension, and then somehow take the belt off this stupid alternator, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead and made your life a lot easier. So you guys can see, I'm gonna put a light. I went ahead and I removed this stupid thing right here. It's just 10 millimeters on top, and there's a electrical connection right here, and there's a stupid clip that connects the wire harness somewhere on it. But anyway, so this is a 1/2 inch drive, and the way that I'm gonna take it out or remove the tension on it is by doing this. Let me just, oh, sorry, it's actually clockwise or counterclockwise. Let me just change the teeth right here. Okay, here we go. So I want to push on it like so. See that? Just had it hanging out right here. Now this is a little bit loose. See? Oops, now I don't want this coming off right here. Just want to take it off. Why is it not focusing? God damn it. Here we go. All right, cool. Just gonna keep this right here. I'm gonna keep the tensioner right there. I just have it hanging right here, guys. You guys can actually do that. And I'm just gonna put the belt over here. Cool. As long as I don't lose its grip on the rest of the pulleys, because I'm not getting down there and putting it on the crank again. Okay, so I went ahead and I switched to 0.5 so you guys can see. So the way that the bolts are holding this alternator, there's one right behind this pulley, so this pulley gotta come off. And there are 2 bolts right here holding it. It's just like a Mopar style. That's just how they work. There's 2 on top horizontally, and the other one is vertically. And this is the clip for the alternator, so I'm gonna go ahead and take it out right now. Wait, just show you the side. See that? And once I take it out, I'll be able to disconnect it from the hot wire, which is right here. Right there. Right there. Looks like we have a leak right here. That's funny. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and take out these 2 bolts. There's one right here. I think you guys saw them already. One right here and then one right there, and one behind this pulley. Okay, so I went ahead and I took out this pulley right here. It goes in just like this in the hole right there, and it comes out. Those are all the pieces that come out with it. There's no other piece that comes out. Make sure you keep it in one assembly. And just a reminder, not a reminder, just to let you know, the 2 bolts that hold the alternator from top are 15, and the one that holds it from the pulley is 15 as well. So now it's a little bit easier for me to access the hot wire in the back, which is right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get a ratchet. I don't know, it looks like a 13 millimeter. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll let you all know after I remove it. So I went ahead and I removed the lower radiator hose from the radiator. Make my life a little bit easier. My belt's still looking okay, so I'm gonna see if I can yank it from here without hitting the radiator. I think I need a set of hands. So you gotta orient the alternator like this, and it will come out a lot easier. Just make sure it's like this, and it will come out like that. Okay, so I went ahead and I installed the brand new one right here. Make sure that you follow the same instructions in reverse. So whenever you put it, don't bolt it on yet. Put the hot wire first, because you have better access to it. I'll get down there and show you. Right here is the hot wire, and I connected the electrical signal wire right here. And so the second thing you want to do, you want to make sure you put one of these 2 bolts first, barely, and then put on the other one, bolt it on, and then this one lines up just fine. You don't need any special alignment. Once you bolt on these, this will align perfectly. So just tighten this one, and the other one. Right here. Boom, that's 2 of them. And now what you want to do next is make sure you clean the area over here where the thermostat is really well. And clean this. You don't need to get a new gasket, and just bolt it right on. Okay, so I went ahead and finished everything off. I think last place I left y'all at was at the belt. I put on the belt, and then after I put on the belt, I put in the thermostat housing, and then after that I went ahead and I put the the reservoir, and then obviously the battery, connected the fans. Don't forget that when you put this, you have to put this one first. You have to put this one first. Barely put the bolts on. You need the magnet because those bolts are going to fall in here. Barely put the bolts on, then put this one on, and then go ahead and insert the 2 bolts with the nuts on the other side. Those are 15 millimeter and those are 13 millimeter. And then after that, what you want to do, or you can just put the intake, and then this. The intake system is kind of not too complicated, but it's a little weird. So once you take this off, you got to disconnect this sensor and the mass airflow sensor, and it comes out as a one assembly because you got to disconnect it from here too. And then there are 2 pieces under it, one that grabs the air and one that holds the ECU. So you're gonna have to understand how that works. There are 3 screws. They're 8mm. They look like this, and you can see that the main thick wire, or the combination, or the amount of wires that go in here, that's where the ECU is at. So for now, after I installed the alternator and everything, I put everything back. This is the old one, super dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill up this system with some coolant. We're gonna bleed it, make sure it's good, and we'll be on our way. Thank you guys so much for watching. So this is the car on. I'm bleeding the system. This is a self-bleeding system. All you gotta do is just put in water or coolant. Well, coolant is better. And this is brand new alternator right there. Car's not dying. It used to die right after you disconnect the jump starter. And so I'm in the process of just letting it bleed out. This is the temperature at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and check what the hell these codes are for the customer. That's on me. And I went ahead and I turned, the hell, a lot of black and mild, huh? I went ahead and turned on this so I can see when the coolant is flowing through the heater core, make sure that it's hot. When it's hot, that means it's flowing through. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wait on that.